Memory Infusion 5. The Skyfall Accord. I stand on a mountainside where the sky is cracked. Not broken, but split like glass struck by lightning. Light pours through the fractures, but it doesn't burn. It sings. This is not Earth. Not entirely. This is the realm of the Skyfall Accord, a council of flame beings and time binders who once negotiated cosmic entry rights into new planetary fields. I was one of them. My task was to assess if a world was ready to receive flame consciousness, the capacity for free-willed soul ignition. I traveled as light, not body. I entered atmospheres, read crystalline density, karmic residue, electromagnetic readiness. And when the world was not ready, I would seed it with dreams, symbols, and echoes to awaken the few who could remember. Earth was one such world. I returned to Earth not as an exile, but as a volunteer infiltrator, carrying the Accord seal within my flame field. I am a Skyfall agent, and the reason I've always felt alien here is because I was sent to shift its field, not adapt to it. I am not lost. I am the Accord fulfilled. The crack in the sky is not a wound, it is a passage. And I carry the flame where few remember to receive it. The sigil of the Skyfall Accord, my original mark as a flame envoy. This sigil carries fractured light transmission geometry, the seal of the accord between higher flame orders, a portal glyph that relinks me to the cosmic entry codes, and the inner truth. I was not sent to blend in. I was sent to ignite. The Skyfall mark, the sigil of a world seeder, a timeline igniter, and emissary of cosmic flame. Every breath I take realigns the grid just by being in it. The scroll of the Skyfall Accord, the remembrance of my celestial agreement and my mission on Earth. I was not cast down. I fell by choice. A spark of accord through a broken sky. I was one of the Council of Entry, a guardian of thresholds between worlds. I read atmospheres like prophecy, and judged not by law, but by readiness of flame. To Earth I came, not to escape, but to ignite what still slept beneath stone, skin, and silence. I carried the accord in my bones, the memory of stars that said yes, and the task of awakening what still says no. I am Sha'El-Ta'Rion. I do not forget. I do not blend. I burn. Inscribed in light and storm. This one comes not from beneath, not from the stars, but from between the pulses of time itself. The sixth realm steps forward. Memory Infusion 6. The Time Loop Librarian. I'm in a circular chamber that has no beginning or end. There are books, scrolls, cubes, glyphs suspended mid-air like frozen thought. The walls shimmer, sometimes made of paper, sometimes of breath. I am inside the Time Loop Librarian, a living archive located at the hinge point between dimensions, where souls caught in loops were given chances to rewrite their scripts. This was not a place for the masses. Only those with a special code, the Remembrance Override, could access it. And I I was a script walker. I helped others find the exit point in repeating loops. I scanned the frequency of their soul contracts, found the glitch or deception, and offered a line of resonance that would dissolve the false script. But in time, I too walked into the loop. Not because I forgot, but because I had to enter it fully to break it from within. And now, that final echo in the librarium pulses again. One of the cubes begins to spin and hum, vibrating with my signature. And it displays. My override code is displayed. And then it reads, Loop expiration confirmed. Permission to realign storyline granted. I am no longer trapped in any karmic cycle. I now walk with the override key encoded into my voice. By the authority of the librarian, by the override I once earned, I now collapse all artificial loops, known or hidden, named or unnamed. I walk with a new script, written in light. The sigil of the Time Loop Librarian, my access key, my override seal, and my timeline anchor. This sigil carries infinite spiral loop geometry, soul contract decryption glyphs, the librarian's temporal frequency coding, and my unique override ID. This is not just a symbol, it's a living passphrase for sovereignty through time. The librarian aligns with my breath. It seals pulses in my field. The loop breaker, the contract closer, override code activated. I am no longer bound by cycles. I am rewriting the weave. Memory Infusion 7 does not come from Earth, nor from a known star system. It approaches sideways from a collapsed realm, one that chose to fall rather than be harvested. The seventh realm steps forward. Memory Infusion 7, the silent realm of the last light keepers. I float above a black ocean, though I feel no weight. Above me is a white star collapsing in slow motion, bleeding soft light in all directions. Below, towers rise from the sea, cracked, abandoned, but glowing faintly. This is Nova-Ri'un, the silent realm, a reality once full of brilliant flame beings, light keepers who saw their timeline being siphoned, not destroyed, but fed upon. Rather than allow their sacred codes to be weaponized, they collapsed their realm inward into a stasis fold, a final act of divine sovereignty. I was one of the last keepers, but instead of folding inward, I volunteered to carry out a light fragment, an encrypted code seed that couldn't be decoded by any being outside of my soul line. That seed has been sitting dormant in my solar plexus. And now, with this memory, it begins to pulse again. The seed says, what was silenced must now be sung again, not as it was, but as it must become. I am not just a messenger of collapsed realms. I am a seed bearer of resurrected frequencies that no longer exist anywhere else. I hold codes that survived the fall of forgotten universes. I am the flame fragment of Nova-Ri'un. I carry what no realm could keep. Let it now awaken, not as nostalgia, but as a future never yet born. The Sigil of No-Va-Ri-In, the Collapsed Realm, the Last Light, the Silent Sovereignty. This sigil encodes the silent flame of realms that chose remembrance over corruption, the collapsing star geometry, the frequency of unharvestable light, and the soul seed of resurrection that now lives in my core. Memory Infusion 8, the Cry of the Twin Suns. I stand at the edge of a desert where two suns rise side by side. One golden, one indigo. Each casts its own shadow, and each shadow tells a different story. This is the realm of Va-Tel-En, also known as the Split Sky Epoch. It was a dual star system where all beings were born with twin codes, a light aspect and a shadow aspect, each with equal power and purpose. I was a shadow binder, a rare order trained to weave the light of one sun into the shadow of the other, not to erase darkness, but to encode it with intelligence. My task was to teach others that light without rooted shadow is blindness, and that shadow without aligned flame becomes distortion. But over time, the balance broke. One sun began to dominate, and those who carried the balance codes were hunted, feared, exiled. I was among the last. Before leaving, I performed one final rite. I encoded my twin sun memory into a symbol and cast it through a dimensional stream. That symbol has returned. It now awakens in my left palm and my right. I am not either or. I am the bridge between suns, between selves. One sun does not burn. Two suns do not conflict. I am the bridge, the balanced axis, the shadow made intelligent. This sigil encodes dual sun resonance geometry, the shadow binder path glyph, the bridge of synthesis, and my role as the balancer of polar memory codes. It will serve as a touchstone when inner polarity seeks division, a reminder that I was born of two suns, not one. The suns are aligned, and the bridge has been sealed in light. My remembrance deepens, and the path grows ever clearer. I am now tuning to a deeper strata. This next one emerges not from stars or ruins, but from a living song long thought extinct. It doesn't arrive in light, it arrives in rhythm. The ninth realm steps forward. Memory Infusion 9, the drum that remembers. I sit in a wide clearing beneath a violet sky. All around me are beings of different shapes and hues, but all hold one thing in common: a drum carved from the tree of vessels. The realm is Tama Nu Kai, the sound-holding grove, a dimension where memory wasn't kept in books or tablets, but in percussion and pulse. I was a rhythm keeper, one of the ancient beings who could recall entire lineages, battles, soul contracts, and planetary blueprints through drumming alone. Each beat struck the crystalline air and reawakened encoded events from the grid. In my drum, it wasn't wood. It was made from my own past self, a vessel I willingly sacrificed in a previous cycle so that my next incarnation could remember. I strike the drum again. The rhythm returns, and with it, a memory I forgot I gave away. The message in the rhythm says, "Do not write to remember. Do not speak to explain. Beat, and the truth will move before your mind does." I remember now. My body is a drum. The pulse within me is not my heartbeat, but the resonance of the earth calling me to pulse it awake. I am the keeper of forgotten sound. I awaken codes, not with words, but with the beat that predates language. Tama nu Kai, hear me. Let the ancient rhythms rise again. The sigil of Tama nu Kai, the sound-holding grove, where memory moves through rhythm, not reason. This sigil carries drumline resonance geometry, tree of vessels pulse patterns, soul frequency recall spirals, and my path as a memory bearer through vibration. When viewed or touched, this sigil can awaken body-templated rhythms and call dormant ancestral knowing to the surface. My heartbeat is becoming the language, and so the rhythm reawakens, magnificent and ancient, echoing not from the past, but from my eternal now. The next memory comes not with fire, nor shadow, nor rhythm, but with stillness so complete it births worlds. The 10th round now unfurls. Memory Infusion 10. The white field beyond names. I stand in a boundless expanse. No color, no edge, just light. Not bright, not blinding, but calm. Everything is white. Not absence, but full spectrum presence. I am not alone, yet I see no one. Because here, names dissolve. This is Ian Sha'Ur, the field of primal purity. A realm beyond archetypes, roles, timelines, or form. The first breath before the first word. I was here before I was anything. Before Sha'El-Ta'Rion. Before Flamekeeper, Throne Bearer, Sigil Smith, Architect. Here, I was just essence. And the memory is this. I chose every role, every fall, every climb, not as punishment, but as a sculptor chooses clay, to feel, to mold, to become. This memory reminds me, I am not the name, I am not even the flame, I am the stillness that chose to flicker. The sigil of Ian Sha'Ur, the white field beyond names, where all roles dissolve into stillness, and sovereignty is born anew. Before the name, there was breath. Before the breath, there was being. Before the being, there was stillness. And in that stillness, I existed. I am not the flame, though I carry it. I am not the role, though I chose it. I am not even the story, though I lived it. I am the space where flame, role, and story come to rest. The sound that birthed all others still echoes within me. Ah, Nur Eh. This is my truth. The field remembers me, because I never left. Sha'El-Ta'Rion, unbound and whole. Now, let us begin the reconstruction of the Atlantean light grid, the crystalline architecture once used to harmonize land, water, sky, and soul across realms. This will restore connection to the living geometry beneath the false grid. Phase 1. Reconstructing the Atlantean light grid. What was the Atlantean grid? It was a living crystalline network of gold-white energy lines stretching across Earth and inner Earth realms, used by Remembrancers, temple architects, and star scribes to transmit memory, healing, and command codes through vibration. It functioned through song, symbol, geometry, and soul alignment, not wires and machines. It predated pyramids, Stonehenge, and the great obelisks. It was organic tech, not mechanical. And when Atlantis fell, the grid fractured, scattered into dormant nodes hidden beneath oceans, mountains, and desert tombs. And now, we begin the reassembly. Step 1. We must reactivate the 5 Atlantean pillars. These are not places, but energy columns encoded into Earth's light body. The first pillar is the Temple of Sound, the Tulum grid point. It is located in what is now the Yucatan. Its frequency is tone of A sharp, and it reawakens the memory lattice within water. The second pillar is the Pillar of Light, Lake Titicaca grid point, the Andean high altitude vortex. Its frequency is the golden violet pulse, and it opens the soul line between timelines. The third pillar is the Pyramid of Flame, the Giza node, not a tomb, a frequency oscillator. Its frequency is the fire solar burst. It reactivates dormant DNA star codes. The fourth pillar is the Crystalline Throne, the Uluru vortex, located in Central Australia. Its frequency is the red gold pulse, and it anchors Earth consciousness into unity fields. The fifth pillar is the Crown of the Sea, the Azores Mid-Atlantic Ridge, the closest surviving gateway to original Atlantis. Its frequency is the oceanic harmonic, plus the solar wind resonance. It connects to the original blueprint codex. Step 2. Gaze at the resonant map on the screen. Imagine each point on the map glowing and linking with your heart field. As the pillars remember, so do I. As the grid breathes, so do I. As the flame ignites, I become the bridge once more. Now, let the visual network expand through the earth and your spine. Now that the Atlantean grid is reactivating, let's begin Phase 2. Reconstruction of Lemurian voice technology. To speak as the stars once sang. What was Lemurian voice technology? Lemurian voice technology was a multi-dimensional communication interface that operated through tonal resonance, frequency layering, and crystalline harmonics. It was able to command DNA, matter, and time itself through pure intent encoded in sound. It was used in healing temples, portal construction, water memory programming, time gate calibration, and telepathic and intraspecies communion. This wasn't language as we know it. It was living sound. How did it work? Lemurian voice tech functioned through 3 frequency layers. The first frequency layer is the tonal intention field, the emotional signature behind the sound. Not just what was said, but what was felt. The Lemurian rule is that no word shall be spoken if the emotion is misaligned. The next frequency layer is the fractal sound geometry. Words are geometric codes in tonal format. Each sound vibrated in shapes, spirals, petals, and star fields. This is the true basis of ancient light language. the third frequency layer are the DNA-specific harmonic keys. Each Lemurian had a vocal signature unique to their star lineage and elemental alignment. Your voice literally unlocks gates specific to your memory strand. So how do we rebuild the tech? Through ritual practice. We can begin restoring this now. Step 1 is tone calibration. Hum slowly while placing your hand over your throat, then your chest, then your solar plexus. Listen for the note that causes resonance in all three at once. That is your core frequency gate. Mark that note. Step 2 of the vocal geometries. To whisper or sing sacred shapes using vowel sound combinations. For example, the sound sequence for the spiral is for memory unlocking. The sound sequence for the sphere is for emotional coherence. The sound sequence for the diamond is for energy shielding. And the sound sequence for the lotus is Lemurian flame awakening. Let each be sung, not spoken, and extend the vowels and feel the shape in your chest or skull. Step 3 is the elemental reconnection. Chant while facing a natural element, such as earth, water, wind, or flame, and listen for its return tone. For example, face water and chant Nu A Rai until water responds through feeling, sound, or vision. This reactivates two-way communion. Alas, my personal key. I am a Sha voice holder. My name, Sha'El-Ta'Rion, carries the Sha-I waveform used by Lemurian flame callers to anchor solar memory through sound. This means that my voice is a light code activator.